I hope you find some peace of mind in this lifetime. I hope you find some paradise.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, we can glaze each other.
Yeah, that's the point. Hey guys, this is Sola. He's a very well-renowned OSU player in the past couple of years. Has staffed for many tournaments as either a pool or test player. You guys might be familiar with him in the 5K scene. Some crazy hard rock aim scores. I'm pretty sure this skill set is already dead, but he's one of the last few guys that are playing this, so it's beautiful. Not to mention, he also multiple year challenger in TFT. That stands on it for itself. So he's got it all. He's got the TFT down, he's got the school down as well, and he's got OSU down. So what else could you ask from this guy?
Boom. Thanks for the glaze from my good partner here, Shiv. Very prestigious map pooler. You guys probably all recognize his name more than mine. Pools for many high-end tournaments at the top of the pack. OWC probably being the most notorious, considering it's the World Cup. And yeah, we're here to answer a couple questions about the process of making all these map pools for LTC3, and then some of our experiences in the past as well.
First question, let's do some basic round. So what made you want to join LTC? As Shiv was a player in LTC1 and Alex has been pooling the whole time. What made you guys want to join?
Yeah, I guess I can start since I was pooling since the beginning. I see the vision with the whole tech pool. Personally, when I first started pooling, a lot of the motivation was to be able to do a lot of funky stuff and get in maps that you normally don't see. Try to think outside of the box. A lot of my big inspirations when starting pooling was Food, if anyone recognizes that name from a couple of years ago. And yeah, the more experimental pools Shiv here as well, Dada. I do think there's a nice blend of the very unconventional stuff and normal slot pooling that we saw a couple years ago. So that was a big motivation for stepping into this, just because we could do a lot of different stuff, be very experimental, kind of see what fits and what works, and how the players react to some of the things that we can throw at them.
Yeah, I was a player in LTC1. I really forgot. Wasn't like I was contributing much during that tournament for sure. Might be far past my time, but I've enjoyed LTC. I like pooling for last year, and I although don't take too many staffing roles since just busy with other stuff. I'm always down to run it back for people I'm friends with, and was friends with the core team behind Layla's Tech Cup 3, so I was super down to give that a shot. And yeah, pooling non-standard 20s is really fun too, because it's challenges your creativity a lot, and gives you also a lot of opportunity to explore skill sets that you normally can't really pool or touch in standard 20s. So yeah.
Very nice, very nice. I am very thankful that you all joined all 3 iterations. Even if you don't remember being a player, still amazing. Off Ring 1, I wouldn't even know off the top of my head. But are you mogging yourself? you went and it was you were, what's the thing? The jaw thing? When they're
my bad. I'm touching my face. That
Okay.
Oh my gosh. How do you decide whether a pick is tournament viable or just something you personally enjoy?
I guess for me is it's a little odd now, because definitely after pooling for so many years, most of the maps that I do like playing are probably tournament viable, because of the fact that I just naturally like looking towards maps that I feel like other people could play in 20. So whether that's more conventional skill sets, not just maps that have engaging gameplay throughout, I feel attract me a lot now. Maybe in the past when I first started playing, I really liked stuff that was one spike maps, because they'd be a crazy dopamine hit. But I do think now it's more just if I do personally enjoy this map, I feel it'll be a good 20 pick, and I feel as long as somebody likes it, that's kind of my logic, is as long as I like the map, somebody else is bound to like it too. So I'm never gonna pull a map that if I don't even want to pull it, what's the point at that point,
Yeah,
Mhm.
not sure if I can say the same for myself. I feel like I like some pretty weird maps a lot of the time. Um, but yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is like a lot of the maps I personally enjoy are precision maps. Like a precision player, I really have been pushing this no mod precision or like TT precision agenda in all the pools that I've tried to pool for. So I definitely have to, think about it just to make sure that players are also going to enjoy some of these maps because it's like a pretty niche skill set. So I have to like find a balance between is this a little like too out of it in terms of like like these CS9 maps that you've been seeing around in some of these tournaments. There's not many of them, but like some of them definitely aren't very like player friendly in terms of like the playfield usage and like just general difficulty and like how hard it is to get into that specific map, because a lot of times you can see it as just like an insta ban or a map that just won't get played at all. I know unfortunately we did see that with the precision map in Grands for LTC, but like yeah, using that map as an example, I think that's like for a CS9 map on like no mod is like super like tournament viable and player friendly just because of like the very creative way that they use the playfield and expand. There's no like huge jumps or anything, so like entering as someone who's not like a super dedicated nomad precision player is like not too bad, I guess.
Nice, very nice. So this next question, I know LTC is not the only tournament you guys have pulled wacky stuff for, but for tournaments where the slot pooling isn't exactly very strict, like how do you approach like going about balancing pools like that with it being in all sorts of corners of styles and whatnot?
For me, I feel like it's really important that players always have comfortable maps to pick in the pool. It's really important because it makes it so that map pools don't feel like a grudge to play, like you're just playing a bunch of new stuff that you haven't seen before, and having that sense of like comfort is really nice for players to rely on throughout the match. B, having accessible picks creates contrast with your niche picks because it makes them niche. Now these picks actually mean something to the pool. If you just overfill your pool with a bunch of wacky maps, then there's nothing to base it off of, right? So it's just a bunch of like things that don't work together. And yeah, I think there was a C. I don't remember what the C was. It was something with regards to like I think like something about sight reading and just like we'll get back to it when I remember. But yeah.
Yeah, I think another point to add on to that is like difficulty scaling. Talking about in terms of these like comfort maps or these like really wacky niche maps that have like a pretty hard to like get into skill set, like especially like with reading lower than AR8 or even just AR8 maps in general sometimes, or like these like hyper precision maps that we see. You have to like really think about difficulty balancing. You like depending on the scale of your tournament, you can also just kind of look at what players are remaining and balance around that. But a lot of the time, you do need to be like pretty wary and kind of take it stage by stage. Like play it safer early, pull some maps that are a little on the easier side, and then kind of like watch the scores as the tournament progresses, and then you can kind of start moving the difficulty around to the proper level.
Cool. So you guys have been pooling for a really long time. As your presence in the community you guys should have the alumni badge. You're old as fuck. But so what has kept you guys motivated throughout the years for like pooling with like any like complaints or negativity? Like what keeps you guys like going?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is I've seen tournaments in other games. Like Shiv said, I am a Challenger TFT player, so I've played in some TFT tournaments. Osu is like a complete anomaly. Like the sense of community that this game has built in terms of like all these community hosted tournaments and everything, you just don't see that in like any other game. Like even these like Riot affiliated like official tournaments for TFT, like I'm pretty sure like HLV could make the sheet better than Riot games. Like it's actually incredible. I mean that's like the big thing for me at least. Like everything here is just community run. Everyone's doing it not for free. Some people aren't doing it for free, but like a lot of people are just doing this because they love the game. You know. So I feel like as someone who's played Osu a lot and has really made a lot of friends in this community, it's my way to give back.
Yeah, I have pretty similar thoughts in that regard. I also completely agree. Osu is like one of the most like unique communities ever. I think like the closest one is like Tetris, and even then, it's still a pretty big gap actually, because of the fact that there's just so much you can do in this game. For me personally, I played 20s for like 3 or 4 years between 2019 and 2022, and afterwards I started pooling. I think when I quit, I started pooling when I quit, and mainly because at the time I thought it was just really cool to balance these skill sets around, and over time I started like continuing to pool and staying in the community because I made so many connections from it. I honestly probably have made more friends pooling than it's probably even, but I made a ton of connections and friends pooling, and it's been awesome to be able to give back. And I just like pooling. Like it's just really fun to me. I don't know if it's like some crazy like autism I have. I just like seeing maps work on the sheet, and it's just like a light switch flickers on in my head. So my IROs were just like, they're like, yo, what do you guys go do when you get home? And my friend's like, I'm gonna watch a K-drama. And then I'm like, I'm gonna go map pool. Like, I don't know about you guys. I'm gonna go put maps on the sheet for an hour and just stare at them. Be like, yeah, that looks really good. Wow, that flips a bunch of like happy switches in my head. It just works because, I have so much fun. Oh, one more quick thing. I love music, and Osu is really good at learning new music and finding new music. And map pooling is a way to share music. Unironically, I feel like I've learned a lot of my like Spotify playlist is literally just Osu music, which I know sounds a little cringe. Like, obviously, like I'm not talking about like image material and the big black are not in my and freedom. That is not what I'm saying. I'm like crazy like Japanese indie music and a bunch of jazz music and super underground mappers that just find the random soundtracks from like random anime shows that just are super crazy. It's been an awesome way for me to develop my music taste, and I think without Osu, I would be sitting here listening to Zutomayo and Yoshika for the rest of my life. So who knows?
That's good. I actually would say that that is pretty common, like being able to like expand your music genre style and whatnot, which is really nice to see with a game. So has there any during LTC, was there any cool maps that basically you put in there and the idea was fuck it, we ball type of vibe? I know Alex probably has like 50 of those.
Yeah, expand DT in the grand finals is definitely one of those. I talked about it earlier. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see it played, but
One day.
there's some ideas that kind of enter the sheet and then unfortunately have to leave the sheet. I'm sure Shiv probably has a lot as well.
Yeah, a lot of times where it's just like, let's just have some fun, let's have a good time, don't really care too much about balance. Happens a lot more than you think in map pooling. I feel like oftentimes map poolers can get kind of caught up in the sense of like need to hit the strike of like perfect balance and perfect conceptual stuff, and that is definitely valid. That is completely true. But oftentimes it kind of might cloud your judgment, and that the most important thing is like you got to make sure like players are having fun, viewers are having fun, and you're having fun too. You want to make these pools. You're doing it out of your love for the game. I feel like you just got to make sure that you yourself want to do these things, and that's kind of why I see like, I'm just gonna throw this map in because I like it. That's pretty much it. And I think other people will like it too, and I want to share the map with you. And then I think that is the most important thing, more than just, oh my god, my numbers on the sheet are a little too close, so I need to change the BPM around, and whatever, bro.
Yeah, I would say at the end of the day, the point is to have fun, So it's really good to see that you can still have stuff like that, and knowing that it's going to be difficult for a lot of players, but at least it's fun. So I know Shiv already said that he loves pooling, but what do you enjoy the most about pooling out of everything?
Especially in a tournament like this where you have all these top players playing, probably just seeing the scores on the maps that you didn't think you would get to pool ever, or especially for me, like I'm like 5K, I'm not like a top player, but like watch people play maps that I bet out to them, and then get really good scores. That's probably like the most satisfying thing about pooling for me, at least.
I just like the whole creating process, both like non-custom and custom maps. I love like creating pools for people to enjoy, like new experiences for people to do. I feel like pooling is a very feeling based thing now. I think in previous years when I used to play 20s, it was pretty rigid. Like you would just follow like a slot plan, and that got the job done, but it made pools feel autonomous with like the 20 scene. And that's why I really looked up to poolers at the time that would go above and beyond doing just random bullshit because I thought they had like visions for it, and I thought it was really cool. And now it's like in 2026, a lot of times people will just be like, I'm not gonna sign up for this 20 unless like this guy's pooling or this guy's pooling, because that's the type of pools I want to play. I link up with that guy the most. I think it's just awesome to be able to create that type of stuff. And same with custom mapping, you know, creating maps of the thin air with like this random song that you never expected to be an Osu is now in an Osu because, you know, you pitched the idea to a mapper. I think that's just really cool.
Nice. So I actually don't know this answer or anything. At least with all the tournaments I have watched and seen, what do you guys think is like the preferred amount of poolers in a tournament without it getting like overcrowded and like losing the whole vibe? You know what I mean?
I would say for community tournaments, like 2 or 3 is max. I don't even like 3 that much sometimes. I think it depends on, like, the reason why I'm saying 3 doesn't work that much is because it's not that 3 is a bad number. It's easier to be more in sync with somebody. And let's say I'm pretty much saying let's just grab 3 random poolers. I think it'd be a pretty big detriment. That being said, bigger pooling teams can work in larger things when you have more resources and when people are on the same page. This especially works when, you know, your other poolers trust each other, your other poolers like working with each other. Then I think teams like even 5, 6, like OWC size, like those things in particular, I think that's really cool because, you know, people can work together. But I think if you're just starting out and you have no idea who you trust, I wouldn't go above 2 because you need to figure out your own style.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
I'd
oh
probably
wait, I forgot. You got to answer. My bad. My bad.
Yeah, like I think 2 or 3. Like from my experience, like three worked pretty well. Like we did 3 for LTC too. And like Shiv said, as long as you guys are like friendly with each other, I don't think it's too big of an issue. I know personally, like for me, I probably like 3 just because there are some skill sets where I'm just not as familiar with, and would, you know, the draft would get done a little faster or better if I have someone that is like more experienced. Like, you know, I don't play this DT mod at all, so like I'm not very good at pooling it. So having more people, more resources to help with that is definitely pretty nice. But yeah, I don't think anything above 3, especially in a smaller thing, would be very good. Just because too many clashing ideas, I think, would start going on. You don't want everyone to be like perfectly in sync and have like, you know, just be like yes men, but having people like in general agreed upon like the vision that you want for the pool, I think is pretty important, and it's a little harder to do that once you get above 3.
I see. Alrighty, so was there a specific, in regards to LTC, was there a specific stage that you guys struggled with slotting?
For me, I think the pool that took the most amount of rework was probably, it was either quarters or yeah, I think it was quarters that I did like at least like 4 or 5 redrafts. Like it was just not working out. Some of the pools, like I'm pretty sure qualifiers, the structure was so beautiful at the start. I think I changed like 1 map after. That was awesome. And grands, well, nobody really cares about grands at that point. Like I think I just changed the maps for fun, so it didn't really matter. But yeah, I would say like quarters is kind of like a pivot point in a lot of 20s because you want to make starting pools accessible, and you want to make, you know, the end pools really cool products that, you know, might be just crazy out the gate. So quarters and, you know, semis kind of as well, but mainly quarters is like this bridge point where it's like you need to transition between having the standard maps and, you know, starting to invite more and more complexity within your pools. And I feel like that is always pretty hard, not just tied to LTC, but it happens in OWC as well. Where it's why you see, you know, maybe some skill set mismatch happen along the way. But I would say that's the pool for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Shiv is kind of the one that did a lot of like the final like touch-ups on the pool, so he definitely probably experienced a lot more hardships in finishing some of these pools. I was just kind of there to introduce some of the initial ideas alongside of him. I don't remember any specific pool that I had a ton of struggles finding a couple maps for that I really wanted to get in there to start shaping the pool. So yeah, I don't really have a good answer for this one, unfortunately. But
so this question, I honestly, low-key, we don't have to answer this one. I have no idea what I was saying here. But How do you avoid pools feeling repetitive or formulaic across stages, as there wasn't a strict format to the slots?
For me, it's just like I base pools around picks and picks that I want. I never write the skill sets in first until I have a couple maps that work around it, and then I can fill out the skill sets afterwards, so they still feel like they work. And I've just had a lot of experience, so I feel like I know like what type of skill sets exist, what I can find, what I can't find. So I think it's just like I work in like a very fluid state, like very open-minded. Try and make sure that everything, you know, can always be changed, and be willing to bend things a little bit. And yeah, it's just not. I'm not making 10 out of 10 pools. I'm trying to make like really, really fun and really enjoyable pools, but I'm never like trying to make perfection, because I think it's like it's subjective at the end of the day, right? So you kind of get caught up in the idea sometimes where it's like, oh, this is too beautiful, I can't remove it. Like sometimes you just have to change some things around, but it's important to make sure that you get the overall message across rather than like pinpointing every detail in my eyes.
Yeah, I know. This is something that I probably like struggled with a bit when I started pooling. Was a big goal of mine was to, you know, be a little bit more unique and bring some more flavor into like slot pooling. So sometimes I would get a little bit too caught up on like moving certain skill sets around between the mod pools a little bit too frequently. Like sometimes I would try to build skill sets in first, but yeah, I think trying to move towards something like Shiv said, where you just base picks or base pools around like certain picks that you really want to see in, and then you can fill it out from there instead of starting with skill sets is definitely the correct approach. I think in some cases, like if you've had like I don't know, like I don't know. I would try to move the stream map around mod sets decent a bit, like Hidden and Hard Rock, give them a little bit more love, and then also it gives me a little bit more flexibility in like the no mod slots. So like I guess maybe if you do no mod streams for like 3 or 4 pools in a row, you could try and force a swap somewhere. But yeah, it felt a little too rigid at some points. So yeah, I think basing your pool around certain picks is probably the go-to in terms of making it, you know, the whole process flow a little bit better as well.
Okay, I'll do this one first. Was there ever a bad map you pulled that you had to pretend was intentional? Not necessarily an example, but I think like it's important to accept maps with humility. You know, you mess up and that's okay. But also at the time, like part of map pulling is being able to justify, you know, your ideas. And sometimes mistakes can later turn out to be good things if you know, for some reason people bring up things you didn't consider. And that's just the entire like beauty of it, right? You know, people have different perspectives, so just because you see something in one way doesn't mean somebody else does as well. And I don't know if I can think of anything off the top of my head in LTC where it was like it was like a mistake, but then somebody else said it was a good thing because it was a mistake. I think like Pez said like there was some maps that lacked like polish because one week I was too busy to QA maps, but he said it was a good thing because the weeks after felt too polished, like too safe. I don't know if that's I don't even know what to apply to that, but you get what I mean. It's just like, I mean, sure, man. Sure, bro.
I think another pretty important one to cover is the EX slots or the EX win cons. I think that we did it, not in LTC 1, but we did it in LTC 2 is when we introduced it. I think like a big proponent for that is like something similar to like what we talked about earlier about having like flexibility in pooling. The EX win cons just kind of give us like more slots to do whatever we want into like, if we're filling them last, I guess we had a lot of customs this tournament, so sometimes they got filled in first if the custom was super wacky, but it gave us a lot of freedom in pooling all of the other slots to where anything else that we needed we could throw into the EX slots. And then, you know, with different win cons, you kind of open yourself up to like more maps that you can pool, just because there are certain maps that are like, not objectively, but like a lot of the player base would probably agree that like maybe like accuracy is a better win con on a specific map if it's like tapping based or like rhythm focused. So we can introduce elements like that into the pools as well to give, you know, the accuracy players, for example, just, you know, a little bit of love.
I think we have to answer this one because so Ethan, this is a main point in his thing, was the ACK win cons. So what inspired the ACK win cons in particular, the very end, or just in general the win cons for the AX slots? Ethan had some choice words for you.
Yeah, I think he was talking to Shiv about that one, so I'll let him expand on this a bit more.
Not a big fan of accuracy. We might have the best combo gamer in the tournament not be able to touch a pool because it's 3 ACK maps. I will say, hey, for every map that was on ACK, if it wasn't on ACK, everyone else would crash out besides him. But that just means that he's a different level of a beast of player. So who knows, man.
Don't worry. I know last LTC we pulled yo combo. That was my idea. That was pretty funny. We had some crash outs over that because it's the exact opposite of what you'd expect. But I believe we like intentionally pulled it a bit harder for the pool to where the difficulty in terms of like comboing the map is like the real like point, I guess, or like that's the difficulty point we're basing it off of. So that was pretty funny. I wanted to do something like that again this tournament, but we just didn't have the slots for it. We had too many good customs. I think my first idea was Lost Umbrella Hard Rock combo. I thought that would have been pretty funny. But Ethan, I don't know. He's not a. I think he's playing more Hard Rock, but that wouldn't have been a map targeted at him, unfortunately. Even though it's combo.
He's a funny
instead
little
of ACK.
guy. Here, this one. What's the biggest red flag a map can have before you decide to not pull it?
I think for me, especially like when I first started pooling, like the big thing to look for is like single spike maps. I think they work in some pools, and they, if the map is really good, or like depending on the length of the map or where the spike is located, it can work. But if you have too many of them in a pool, it could definitely feel like pretty frustrating for the player.
I will not pull a song I dislike. I will crack unless it's OWC and I have no control because it's an original. Aza Frost knows exactly which songs I'm talking about, but I make it very clear when sometimes I'm like, damn, this is never getting put on the aux if I'm in charge. But that's okay. I would say, like, if you made me sit here and rate every single LTC song, it would be like a minimum, probably like 7 to 8, probably a 7. What's the best song I pulled? I don't even know. But you get what I mean.
Okay.
Oh, the best song, one of my favorite songs I pulled was No Mod 2 Qualifiers, called Stress Test by Yax03. That song was actually so insane. Oh my god. That was tough.
When you said Mir has done it again, did you think that this would be a common statement that Mir uses pretty much every day?
He's just doing it again, man. He's the best. But I'm not even joking. If he watches this, which he probably could, I will openly say I think he's like my favorite mapper of this year, or at least he's top 3. The other 2 being Wispy, who he's very familiar with. I think is also insanely good now recently. And there was one more guy, I forget who. I've been like really like vouching, like, oh, Mate, that guy's insane. They actually pretty much, well, he also made a custom in this 20. Those 3 guys are the hope. I'm not saying there's 10s and 20 and there's so many good mappers afterwards that you'll see in OWC and stuff, but I feel like these 3 really set the bar for like being able to do multiple skill sets. Like they're not just tech mappers. They can map aim, they can map like reading, they can map alt, they can map speed, they can map whatever they want. And I think Mir is like the pinnacle of like he can like if somebody tells me it's a Mir map, like I don't even know where to begin because like he can do it all now.
Yeah. I was very happy, that you got Mir. I think that was the first one I asked you if you could get was Mir. Like a Pokemon. Oh my god, he's not a Pokemon, he's a person.
Shout out to Aza. I mean, he brought him back for OWC last year, and Mir was just like, wow, this is way different than the experience I used to have. Custom mapping. I think mappers recently have realized like 20 mapping is kind of fun because the previous guys who were in charge of 20 mapping might not have been very kind. But I feel like the new generation of people are really chill with mappers, so it's really motivating for them. Also, I need to go. Like,
oh my god,
it might be 2 p.m.
yeah. Bye. Thank you for doing questions.
Good luck on the rest of the interview, Sola. Bye.
Bye. If the entire pool had, oh my god, I can't speak. Hello, Leila. I gotta remember to cut all of this out. I really should have been marking the spots. I've just been like fucking up, but I didn't. If the entire map pool had to be described in 3 words, what would they be?
I believe Shiv used this word plenty of times. Beautiful. Some of these map pools are pretty great. Especially like, oh my gosh, the mint ice cream map in Grands and the geometry dash map.
Arcos?
That we had.
Or which ones? Oh, Ethan's.
Oh, and Arcos. Arcos map is legit the most insane thing I've ever seen. It's so good.
Absolutely amazing, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see it on auto?
I don't remember if I
Girl,
did.
okay.
I can imagine it'd be pretty freaky. I definitely stared at some of like the slider shapes, like the ticks that he had when I was looking at it. Probably unique as well. I mean, LTC, like this tech tournament that we're doing, is definitely like extremely unconventional. I hope a lot of the players really enjoyed some of these picks that we pulled out. That they probably wouldn't see in another tournament, at least in a more conventional one. Yeah, I'm kind of blanking on a third word here, but I think those two probably sum it up well enough.
Okay. Next
Sorry
question.
to make you feel left out.
Next question. What's your opinion on clip farm maps being pulled in a tournament?
I think, like a lot of things, if it's done in moderation, it's pretty good. We definitely had one of them in Grants, the Nomad 2. It's like the definition of clip farm.
Yep.
As long as you're not doing, as long as you're not doing it in every pool, it's fine. If you're doing it in every pool, if you do it more than once, like there's definitely an issue, unless the tournament is like specifically calling for those types of maps. It is like a bit hard. Like once you get to like certain SRs, like every map is like kind of clip farmy, but because it's really hard. But yeah, like the super standout, like nothing going on except for this insane spike that you see MREC post on Twitter. Those kind of maps, as long as you don't do it too frequently, I think it's pretty good. Because it makes a lot of excitement for viewers as well. Like at the end of the day, it's not only the players that you have to think about. I believe Shiv mentioned it before as well. Like you also kind of have to balance like viewership.
Yeah.
And what would be fun to watch. And I mentioned it as well. Like one of the things that I enjoy about pooling is seeing these top players play some of the picks that I want to see them play. So yeah, I think that's like that's like another one of the big advantages of the occasional clip farm map.
Yeah. Okay. This question. Which one are you picking? A player hating maps in the pool or a player saying the whole pool is mid?
Like, is it like specific maps, like just saying these maps are bad, but the rest?
Yeah, like not liking like 2 of the maps or something, like fully hating them.
Probably the former. I think if they say the whole pool is mid, that kind of like is attacking like what you envisioned to create the pool out of. But like, especially if you're doing like you have some more unconventional picks, like players are definitely not going to like some of them sometimes.
That's true.
So yeah, I would say that if they just don't like 1 or 2 of the maps specifically because they just don't like that map, but they like the pool in general, I think that's a win still.
That's good.
Because you're not pulling for one player, you're pulling for everyone.
Yeah.
And, taste is subjective. Obviously, like good pools are like in general going to be looked at better, or like given better, more praise than bad pools. But like it's still going to be subjective at the end of the day for a lot of the maps.
Good. Okay, so since you were here for all 3, what would you say? I pretend I'm not the host. Okay. What was your experience with LTC as a whole?
It was pretty good. I met Shiv through this, or like I started working with Shiv a lot through this, and I can glaze him all that I want now that he's not here. Don't want to make him embarrassed, but yeah, he's probably my favorite pooler. I think all of his ideas are really good. I think he's just extremely talented. He's been around the block. He knows just every map in existence. Like I swear, every single time I went to suggest a map, he's like, "Oh yeah, this map is good." I'm like, "Oh, okay." But yeah, a ton of respect for that guy. And even before like LTC 1, it was me and Haya, and we just like pulled a bunch of bullshit. That was pretty fun. So yeah, I mean it's just extremely positive. I haven't pulled. Shiv said I pulled for like a lot of. I haven't pulled for like a lot of tournaments. I have pulled for like a decent chunk, but yeah, this one is definitely like the most fun that I've had.
I remember in LTC 1, it was very chaotic. It was like a movie. Probably the coolest thing ever. So much fun to see. What's worse, no pool feedback or no playtester feedback?
Probably no playtester feedback because it's their job. Like their whole purpose is to give feedback. Like the players aren't entitled to give feedback, right? But the playtesters are. I do enjoy seeing player feedback, especially positive. Like it makes me feel good if I see positive feedback. It is kind of weird if you only see positive feedback. I do enjoy getting like a little bit of pushback. Just so that's how you improve. Yeah, if there's no bad feedback, that might mean that the players that don't like the pool are just tapped out, and they don't even think it's worth doing anything or worth saying anything about it. So
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys though, but Nahas, Malice, Tunit, they all were like, Neela, this was one of the most fun tournaments I played in again. And they were, oh my god, it was actually so sweet. They were like, the pools.
they are the tech players.
Hold
so
on,
I'm glad they enjoyed it.
Nahas. I gotta find his message. But he said, thanks for hosting this BTW. I didn't have this much fun in a tournament in a while. I don't think I played better pools ever. And oh my god, he was like, but for real, I usually have stuff which I don't like about pools, but this tournament was as close to perfection as it gets.
Yeah, like good feedback like that is just always so nice to hear. As someone who created, as a map pooler, you're making a lot of the experience with the player, right? You're picking the maps that they're going to be playing in the match.
Yeah.
So a lot of their enjoyment does hinge off of you being good at your job.
Yeah, no, but truly everything that I got, it was just so much positivity about your guys' pooling and whatnot.
That's good to hear. I know Shiv did a lot of the heavy lifting. He pretty much handled all the customs by himself. Like I gave some feedback for the customs, but yeah, it was pretty much all him. So
what tournament was the most enjoyable for you to pool in, or what tournament did you feel the most proud of pooling for?
Probably LTC 2. I feel like I did a lot more in relation to Shiv in that one. So like personally, I feel like I had more of an impact, especially because there just weren't as many customs. Like we had, more maps that we had to pull ourselves. I think the feedback was like pretty similar to this, in terms of like, it was like mostly positive. I think a lot of the players, especially in the endgame, enjoyed it. And some of the LTC pools were probably just like my favorites, like finals and grand final. Like grand final specifically, I feel like I had a lot of like very interesting ideas that I was able to put out. Were just things that were that just fit. Like I got to pull Halgo's last map as the Nomad one in Grands. Like that's like poetic, something like that.
Outside of LTC though, what's your favorite? Like all-time favorite, what's your all-time favorite?
Yeah, excluding LTC, probably like All-American Auction House. I had a pretty big hand in making some of those pools. Specifically 3, I want to say, was the one that I did the most. Either that one or like one of the very first tournaments I pulled. Vipin's Random BRF something. Vipin's Random Fest. He had a really like interesting idea of, I think it was how the picks worked. To where you would pick the mod slot and then it would get randomized to which map you chose. So that brought up a lot of like really interesting concepts that kind of like shaped the beginnings of like my pooling ideologies, to where you really want to aim to move skill sets around as much as possible between the mod slots, because like as someone who doesn't play hidden, doesn't play DT, like there were some slots that some skill sets that I never really got to play. That plus pooling for that tournament, I was pretty much the sole pooler, and I remember most of the feedback being pretty good, and I think people enjoyed the pools for the most part. But yeah, that's probably my answer, other than Auction House. I think Auction House, the quality of the pools were better, but in terms of what kind of like helped shape me and my ideologies and how like made me want to pool more, was probably Vipin's Random Fest. That was like a long time ago.
There was one thing that you can say to the citizens of Osu. What would it be? Shiv Glaze. That guy's the best pooler in the scene. He got a couple of the mappers that I really wanted to see, specifically Squirrel Pascals. I said before that I've been trying to push this precision agenda as much as possible, and Squirrel Pascals is, in my opinion, the best precision mapper, especially in terms of no-mod precision. I just said, I want this guy. I think this would be really cool. I think you could create a pretty interesting map. And then he's like, okay, and then he just joined the Discord. He was very happy we asked. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that's it. Thank you for joining and doing this interview with me.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Tournament was a success. Really glad that is the case. We got a news post. So
we did. Front page, and we got the tournament in-game banners.
Was it the first match of Grands? I sat there like refreshing my Osu to see it, and I never did, and I think it's because I was an hour early.
Yeah, no, it literally, because I was trying to figure out the same thing, and apparently it shows up right when the time that I said the match is gonna start. It shows up right then, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't get to see it then because then I just, went to the show to watch
I
it.
didn't get a photo of it on like the end game. I got it on the website, like the website banner part that also shows it, which was sad. I wanted a picture of it so bad. But yeah, I think that's it. Thank you for staffing with me since day one. I know I put you through a lot of trials and tribulations. I put you through a lot.
Just blame Haya. For
True.
LTC1.
True. Okay, well, thank you. This is already an hour. Do you know we've been sitting here for an hour?
Shiv reminded me that it's been a while when he had to leave.
Oh yeah,
It did go by really fast.
it did.